You know, the government asked scientists, can you put a man on the moon? And they said, we don't know. What do you mean you don't know? They said, we don't know what a man can stand. What do you mean by that? We have to put him in a centrifuge and whirl him around. If he conks out at 9 times gravity, that's the speed you can't take off too fast because everybody would die. So they have to do a study to find out. If you want to put up a building a half a mile high, you've got to make a concrete mixture that can stand that load. And when they make a concrete mixture, they put it in a machine and push. And if it can stand that load, that's what they use. They arrive at decisions. They don't make decisions. Normal people make decisions. Scientists have to arrive at it.
That's what we mean by the scientific methods applied to the social system.
Thank you for your answers.
Just one follow-up. How do you distinguish if it's arrived? Just one follow-up on this. How do then you ensure that you distinguish between a decision which is arrived or a decision which has been made? How do you ensure that we can distinguish?
I think I got it. Well, let's just take, I have to give you an example, excuse me. If a man or a woman designs an airplane with swept forward wings, and another one designs it with swept back wings, who decides which is built? Is that the kind of question? Okay, we built both, because we don't know. We want to find out how far forward, how far back, how planes behave with the wings swept back or swept forward. Why do you have to decide this or that? You know what I mean? In a resource-based economy, the people are telling me organic food is better than food that's genetically altered. So we try them. If it doesn't work, we stop it. If the buildings fall on people in an earthquake, we design them with tapered walls without ornaments hanging on there that fall on people. In other words, a person says, well, my brother-in-law died, he was sitting in bed smoking, and he dropped his cigarette and fell asleep. We have all our beds made of foam. It's not foam rubber, but inside there are bubbles of CO2 gas. So if you dropped a cigarette on the bed, it would put it out. There are no signs in the Venus Project. Drive carefully, school crossing. I'm sure you've seen that sign. Okay, well, here's what we have. When the kid wants to cross the street, he presses a button, but there's a gate. He can't walk till the gate opens. The pavement looks like a cone. When he presses a button, it turns up like that, so no car can hit a kid. Is that clear? All cars, you know what a proximity device is? The cars have a gadget on them that send out sound to get feedback. So if you got mad at me, you couldn't drive your car into my car. It would stop 40 feet away. That's what I mean by technology. Our problems are no longer political. They're technical now. Everything that you have, your electric light, your automobile, your airplanes, are all technical. Did any politician ever give you anything technical? I don't know of anyone. So when you think about it, everything, your eyeglasses even, are made by optometrists that examine your eyes, or ophthalmologists who know something about the eye. But politicians know something about nothing. They never did. Now, George Washington, who's America's first president, had 300 slaves. Did you know that? If you knew that, he'd be arrested today and put in prison. So all the people you admire, King Solomon, he had 1,000 wives. Oh, he's a great man, King Solomon. Today he'd be arrested as a bigamist. So all the people you admire are bums and hooligans. I hate to say this, but they are worthless people. They contribute nothing to society. Most of the people. Your movie actors, television joke kids making jokes, football players, they earn more money than the people that gave us life, like Louis Pasteur. He enabled us all to live by doing his work. Maybe we'd all be dead if it wasn't for him. But what have you got in your parks? Cannons, war tanks in front of schools, airplanes, bombers. What the hell kind of society do you live in? You should have statues of all the people that prevented childbirth fever, you know what I mean? Malaria, scarlet fever. Those are the real people that keep you alive. So in the future, everyone will live very well. I'm not talking about a society where you give out handouts, where you just get by. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying to you that the middle-class American, I don't know too much about this country, lives better than kings. He has telephone in his car, he has television in his car, air conditioning. No king ever had that. But if you turn science loose, not making nuclear weapons or submarines or crap like that, making things better for people, bridging the difference, in 10 years we can change the surface of the earth to beautiful gardens. We'd have no parks. All this city would be immersed in lovely gardens with waterfalls. Why? Because the smarter people are, the better educated, the richer the world. If you can't afford to go to college, that's a crime against humanity. Any kid that wants to go to school and study anything should be permitted to do that, just like you give machine guns to soldiers. You give them cannons, airplanes, whatever the hell they want. They can fly over a village and wipe it out. And you admire that guy. I used to work for the head of the German Air Force at Roosevelt Field. His name was Ernst Udet, and he shot down 70 airplanes. And I said, how did you shoot down 70 airplanes? He said in a heavy German accent, it was very easy. I said, but how did you do it? I'd fly above the squadrons and I'd look down at the rookies that couldn't maneuver too good and pick them off. That'd be a son of a bitch in your terms. You know, but to the world he's a hero. Same for Eddie Rickenbacker. Use the same technique. So when you don't know these things about, look, Harry S. Truman, you know what the President Truman? He owned a hat shop. He was a hat salesman. What the hell is he doing in Washington? The people in Washington should be at the forefront of technology, know the latest things. They tell women to write your congressman if you want women's rights. Well, why the hell do you have to write that, jackass? If you get in an airliner today, you don't have to write the pilot and say you've been flying at an angle, straighten up. He knows his business. Even the navigator knows how to get you to Hawaii or wherever you're going. You don't have to write them. When you travel on an ocean liner, the captain knows how to get you there. But who the hell are these people that you have to write to? That don't seem to know anything. So I've always spoken this way, even the politicians. And one politician said, Jock, if you convince too many people too fast, like that, he says the government might pick you up. I said, how do they do that? So all we do is put drugs in your car, Jock. It's easy. Then we pick you up. And your friends will say, you know, there was something strange about Fresco anyway. So they can do whatever they want. They can say, I get a check from the Vatican, or I get a check from the Atheist League of America, whatever it is. They do that, and they lie about anybody that they want to smash. Just remember that. So when that happens, it's to be expected.
Question?
Any other questions?
Yes, sir. So I want to thank you for coming to Portugal, and thank you all the people in here. It's a huge success today. We weren't expecting that many people in here, so thank you for coming all. I have one short question. We know all about the human replacement in production and distribution of services, but we also assist the replacement of humans in calculation. And my question is, what about the place of the machines in the calculations? I mean, we are existing of the replacement of humans for calculation of mathematics, supercalculators like computers. What about them? What about the place of the human calculating things like such for architecture or such areas? Also, I have another short question. Okay.
What about people being replaced as calculations, for calculations in something like architecture?
Okay. If architects become machines in the future,